You are watching Eswatini TV. Sibuko Semaswati.
Once again, of course, it's that time of the week where you and I just meet to talk about sports. Hello and welcome. This is Monday, the 27th of July. The year is 2020. Of course, it's still being heated by the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, where sporting fraternity, mostly some of the sporting codes, of course, are still on hold due to the ongoing pandemic. However, some of the sports, of course, locally have been given a green light, which says now we can start speaking to what's happening currently. Some of the actions we will also look at some of the things that took place over the weekend. Otherwise, to take center stage on this evening, it's going to be a new topic, a progressive athlete. It's another aspect we'll be talking about, where there's actually one would say currently I would call it an independent organization where it deals with assisting any type of athletes. It could be a footballer, it could be a basketball player, or anyone who needs a fitness level. But currently, the organization so far is dealing with issues pertaining to football or any other sporting cause, such as hockey. So we'll hear from the founder and the director, a young talented man, Eswatini Chitimbira, all the way from the Republic of Zimbabwe. Is going to be here in the studio. Otherwise, Sport Council have been promised to us, of course, to be here for the past 2 weeks or so to tell us about some of the regulations, the ins and out of the of the sporting codes that have been given a green light. What would happen to them in case they don't follow different regulations? The officer who speaks on behalf of the organization, Dumsani Tiwane, is expected, of course, to be here to give us all the details pertaining to that topic. Otherwise, the in-house local analyst Linda Tamini will all walk in as well to touch on some of the aspects that took place over the weekend. We saw the monthly Masters taking place here in Babane, where it was one of its kind, and a 13-year-old walking away as the champion of the day. Otherwise, Shooting Association also had their main meeting to look at how they're going to be working very soon. Otherwise, those are the things that we take center stage for the remaining 57 or 58 minutes or so, where we look at some of the things. I'm already in the company of Eswatini Chitimbira. Like I said earlier on, we're talking about progressive athlete. This is a way of assisting some of the athletes with their fitness level. So Mr. Chitimbira is going to give us some of the information on how he's doing this. Currently, I would say he's working alone independently. Chitimbira, welcome in the studio, but knowing how the pandemic is growing increasingly in the kingdom, so we have a system where we display, or rather we have to sanitize everyone who walks in. It could be you who is going to be on a safer side. You walked in here and maybe I carry some of the could be carrying the virus, or it could be you also have been in contact with someone. To welcome you, let me just start by spraying your hands to ensure that we follow all the regulations that are being provided by government on the preventions of the COVID-19. Now,
thank you.
Let's talk about this. Yourself now, I think just for the benefits of the viewers, you can also, so that they can hear what you're saying. Talk to us. I think, who is Chitimbira? Like I said, you're a young man. If one would look at you right now, would think maybe above your 30s or anything. But I was shocked when you told me that you are only 19 years old. Who is Chitimbira? How long have you been in the kingdom? Yes, tell us about yourself.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Eswatini Chitimbira, 19 years old, born 2001, and I finished high school 2018. Yes, and I've started my coaching in high school for just doing community service. It was my way of, giving back to the community that has given me so much, as a sports person. And I thought, this was my way of giving back to the community. So that's how I really started coaching. And I think to describe myself a little bit, I'm a fun, energetic person. I like to have fun. I like to be creative, and I like to motivate people, and I'm all about that positive energy, because I think I'm someone you want to be I'm someone you want to have on your team.
Let's talk about you said you've been in the kingdom for over 10 years. So
yes,
I think you did your high school and everything, and so you basically have the background information when it comes to sports locally. Let's talk about now this issue, progressive athlete. I think maybe the camera will be on you shortly. We're going to see what's written on your T-shirt. Your jersey. It's the name of the organization that you are the founder, you're the director. You're trying to come up with a new concept, which I think this is what we need if we are to improve the standard of sporting activities in the country. Progressive athlete, and then maybe the word itself in there, and then there's also it's a sort of an emblem. It's like a man just moving on the steps. What are you saying with that emblem? Tell us about that.
That emblem. So it took me about two or so weeks to come up with the name. The progressive athlete.
That's the emblem. Maybe we can just show.
Yes. And when I was making the logo, I really liked the man running on this hill over here, and it just replicates and shows that with your sporting journey, whether it may be hockey, soccer, or your fitness journey, essentially you are progressing. If you play soccer, for example, when you're younger, maybe you could do 10 juggles with the ball, and then when you're 15 you can do about 50 juggles with the ball without stopping. So I feel that is what sport is. It is a constant progression with a few lows, but effectively you're always going up.
So you are, in that case, it's a coach, fitness coach.
Yes.
You tell us about this now. We're going to support our conversation with some of the visuals. You said you do this online.
Yes.
When you say online, then I'm kind of confused to say, how do you then check my progress if you do this online? I mean, don't you think maybe it's probably better to have the person to see the person in person so that he gets assistance? How do you do this? Explain to us. I'm a football player. How do you assist me with my progress?
All right. So how I would assist you is that firstly, of course, you'd have to purchase one of our products, and once that is done, I will then go and make your accounts on the two platforms that we use to kind of carry out the program. So the main platform we use is the Coach Now platform, and that is where you'll receive the videos of your drills, and that's where I will communicate with you and your guardian or your parent if that is fine with you, and then I'll make a second account for you on the fitness software platform, and that's where I will track all your fitness statistics, and that's where we do that's where I'll send the workouts, the nutritional advice, and not much communication happens there because we've got the Coach Now platform. And what I really like you said, with regards to tracking your progress as a football player, so let's say you love taking free kicks and you want to take free kicks, but you're not taking free kicks because they're not good enough. So we'll take a video of you taking a free kick now, then 30-40 days later we'll take another video of you taking a free kick and we'll put them side to side and we'll compare and we'll analyze as to, are you getting better, are you getting worse, and we kind of look at, okay, this is why you're not
progressive athlete.
Yeah, this is why you're not
so it's all about making a person better than who he is today.
Yes.
Make them progress. Now
yes.
It speaks for itself, the name, of course. Now let's talk about maybe in terms of the objective of your organization. Currently, you're working alone? Maybe you can start with that. Are you working alone? Where are you based, and what are the objectives?
So I do work alone, based here in Bawane, Eswatini, and I think besides our main objective of taking people's game to the next level, it's really also offering a platform, where there's information for young athletes, to kind of see that, okay, this is what it would really take for me to really reach this goal. Growing up, I didn't have, YouTube was still growing, the internet was still growing, and I didn't have anyone telling me that this is how much I'm supposed to eat if I want to lose weight, and these are the types of food. So I also want to create that platform to kind of give our kids here, not only in Eswatini but in Southern Africa, that extra niche, that we didn't have growing up. Yeah.
Wow, that is quite interesting. And of course, I think maybe to the viewers, they would think when you picked football, you picked, some of the people maybe are wondering, football, I think it's one of the most followed sport.
Yes.
Maybe if it's not a secret, do you reveal some of the athletes that you have assisted? Can you tell us one or two people that maybe famously one would say, wow, okay, nah. I'm not trying to say we're going to judge you, but we will also look at to say, since you started helping him, was there progress? Give us a name or two.
Well, unfortunately, I cannot give any athletes who I've worked with football-wise because I've been coaching at Sifunzani Primary School, and the season was my season to coach football.
Yes.
And unfortunately, with the pandemic, it kind of cancelled my season.
So you haven't started players who play at the highest level, like your Premier League or National First?
No, not yet.
But do you think maybe they can get assistance from you?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can, because fortunately for me, last year I've had the opportunity to train with professionals in November. And I guess through those connections, I guess it's just a text away for them. I guess, but I mean, for anyone, you just go to our website, drop us a message, and if you're down to help, I'm down to help too.
I think we're looking at some of the programs that you have. Currently, maybe the regulations are there for COVID and everything.
Yes.
But how are you working these days? Maybe is there a market for anything you're doing? Is there anything that is coming in for you? Because I want to believe, in as much as you assisting these athletes, there is also the business in aspect of things. Yes. How is things currently standing on how we're looking at this beautiful website of yours?
I think things are going fine. They're going. I will not say it's our best. We are young. We started, the Progressive Athlete only started in May, and what we're also trying to sell is convenience. Now that we're online, Mage doesn't have to drive to Malkin's Country Club on a Saturday morning at 8, to go take her son for training, when I can just send you the drills and she can watch her son, in the comfort of her home, sitting on their veranda and watching her son do the drills. And I believe that support of having, your parent as a young child, really helps you perform better. And with working with kids at Sifunzani last year, when I started getting their parents to come watch our games and watch our training sessions, the kids started performing a lot better. So that convenience of saying, look, I actually don't have to drive to go to this training session. We can just, work with Coach Miatani at the Progressive Athlete. He'll send the drills, he'll send the information that you need. So nothing puts a smile on your face the way convenience does.
There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, this young man is only 19 years old, but he has a vision. Progressive athlete, that's what he does currently. He's assisting local athletes. Now, take me through this player on the screen. What is he doing and what are you assisting him with?
All right, so in this video, it's one of our athletes, Snenkosi Nkumane, as he's an aspiring footballer, as you can see. And really, with this advert, we're trying to showcase...
So you showed him all these exercises that he's doing?
Yes, I've showed him all these exercises that you're doing, and literally my goal here was to show the interaction you would have. So as you can see, he just sent a message to me saying,
kill the session.
Kill the session. I said, okay, all right, cool, I'll send the video analysis when I can. So that's really how it works. I'll send a drill for you, and let's say, for example, you want to get better dribbling, you want to have dribbling like Messi, right? So there's things that you have to do. You have to dribble as much as you can to get to that level.
I have two questions before you leave.
Yes.
Next in line when you leave the studio, I love what this young man is doing on the screen. I think it shows commitment. Now, when you leave the studio,
yes,
there's going to be someone from Eswatini Sports and Recreation Council. That is, one would say, the main, one would say it's like the parent to every associations that Yes. They report to them. Do you think maybe do you need assistance? Do you need to be an affiliate of the organization? With what you're doing is totally different from other associations. Do you think you can affiliate under the Sport Council? Because this platform, everyone is listening. You're being held by those people. Do you think maybe if you're under that association, that council, which is Sport Council, which is the total umbrella that where all the associations report to, your swimming, your cycling, everyone reports to them, do you think you deserve that? Or do you think that would also support you, that will help you?
I think that would support me a lot. And but effectively it would benefit, the people of Eswatini. Because now that I'm not, working by myself, I've got, I'm connected to all the other sporting codes. And because, I'm a certified fitness and diet nutrition coach, whichever sporting code may need my services, I am there and I'm available. And I guess it brings that kind of transparency too. So it'll really benefit me, but it's not about me here. It's about, the future generations and the sport of Eswatini. And I think that's why as a sporting association, as coaches, we all want to take the sport of this nation to another level.
Time is against us. One question
Yes.
before you leave. You talked about Sifunzani, but there is someone who's good in somewhere in Shiselweni.
Yes.
So this is part of the journey where you have to be fair and equal to everyone.
Yes.
Are you looking to reach out to those people? Because you don't have to focus in Bavane. Go to the regions. How is the plan? Do you have that in your plan?
Well, currently I'm working on that plan, and due to some restrictions and everything, I am planning on hosting clinics. When things do clear up, when we can, play football, and when we can do the hockey, just a couple 1-2 day clinics in these areas, and kind of advertise what we do, and reach out to them, because everyone deserves, to know what it's like to play soccer, to play hockey.
All right.
Yes.
Chitambiro, our interview is done, but this is an outside question. You
Yes.
say that you're a dietitian. Also, one would say you assist athletes, and especially when it comes to diet.
Yes.
What is the most thing that is destroying our athletes in terms of their diet? What is the problem? What do you think the problem is? That's your area of expertise. Maybe you can tell us quickly.
I think the biggest problem is discipline. Discipline, and people want shortcuts. There's no shortcuts, people say they want to lose fat. There's no exercises that will help you burn fat. It's what you eat. And people want a shortcut, and there's no shortcuts to success, unfortunately.
There you have it. Of course, that's the Progressive Athlete website, where you can get all the information, of course, from this young man who's very talented. Thank you very much for being with us. I think it was a beautiful moment, and
Thank you very much.
We can always rely on you if we need anything.
Yes.
All right, there you have it. That is Mietani Chitambire, the young talented who is now currently a personal coaching, one would say coach fitness. He also looks into the issues of diet. Anything has to do with your progress. Are you an athlete? Are you one would say any are you a basketball player? Are you a swimmer? Are you anyone who is looking to progress in your field of expertise? This is your answer. This man is your answer. At the age of 19, what he can do at the age of 19, what do you think he can do when he's 30? He's looking forward to building the sporting fraternity. Otherwise, next in line is Dumsandiwan, all the way from Eswatini Sport and Recreation Council, to tell us about where they are currently standing in of course, looking at if all the sports that were given a green light are following restrictions pertaining to COVID-19. Otherwise, when I leave you, this is some of the work that is coming from Progressive Athlete. Wow, and of course, if you just join us, there is different platforms to watch this program. You can always, of course, watch on your scooter and all other platforms such as YouTube, where we are live. I'm already in the company of Dumsandiwane from Eswatini Sport Council.
My brother Fabrice, Babugeli be Eswatini TV.
For the sake of the viewers, you are safe, you're fine. I saw you coming in the studio, you are sanitizing, so you are good. Now, update we're not getting into details with but we heard there was a scary, not a scary per se, but there was a situation at the offices. Since then, how are things? Are the colleagues back at work? I think they want to know. We will see this thing. Are you back to work normally? And Sport Council.
Thank you so much, my brother. ngikhuluma ngeSwati.
Yes, we're comfortable.
Okay, siyabonga kakhulu my brother. Besivele in the office there was the scare. In fact, it was not a scare. Yes, one of our managers bamatla banyende babethabet actually tested positive for COVID-19. So as a precautionary measure, the office was closed, it was shut down, fumigated. The staff was so in the test. I'm happy to report today ukuthi test abuya and people are now back at work, even though sisebenza in shifts phela according to COVID-19 rules and regulations.
So everyone are on the safe side.
Yes, everyone is on the safe side. I can definitely assure the nation ukuthi bangesabi kucheck office lo semsebenzini ngila results akhe labuya are negative.
There you have it. Now, good news, of course, they're back at work. Moving on. Ndiwan, I think during the time, about 2 weeks ago, when all those was happening, government, of course, in a way of assisting those who are Temidlalo, they just give a green light to about close to 10 sporting codes. Now, maybe just for the sake of the viewers, they know you currently now, they know you as a sports recreation council officer, but just for information, he's one of the seasoned journalists. So, the eye of a journalist, the analysis of a journalist, and then the aspect currently now, who says sport council. Dama sports naniwe imvuma angisho ukuthi you're going to say you think maybe they don't fit the criteria or fit the criteria kubuka kwakho in terms of maybe the lakhetsi unabuka bo athletics, the cycling and all those things. Singasho ukuthi some of the sporting who currently nakubuka ibhola kulandzela yona cycling bani bayitsanza amatubani bani bayitsanza, what would be your reaction kukwenza ukuthi nga sport council nine kusho kuthini awu nijabule kanganani singasho ukuthi nijabule noma it's in the reaction yen as a sport council?
I would say ours is very simple, my brother. Liqiniso lithi Sport and Recreation Council bese siwevala ama complaints. It had been a long and hectic, taxing situation lebesifeza, especially as the sports movement. Siyati bantu bema sports abahlaliseki, we always like to go out there on the field and do what we love best. So bese kuthi kakhulu nakuba ukuthi it was over 3 months and siyambonga kakhulu nje uhulumende lo sibukele lehlangothi lema sports langavulo. Viewers at home will be aware it's not all the sport codes that have been given the green light to actually resume their activities. So it's just a selected few, and I must say from the government's perspective and of course our perspective, those are really low risks, low risk sports. So we're happy with it. Yes.
So far, Ndiwan, sporting codes, they are very active. Igaluf, I think, Bona, even during the COVID, I don't know how much, we emphasize because they should apprehend, they should follow the restrictions. Golf, they are very active. Last week, Sibone, cricket, in terms of Mali games. I think so far, those are some of the people shooting. They had a meeting, but no action. But so far, I could say, and tennis, some of the training session. But maybe the concern is to say, as an association, as a council, are you visiting these events to see maybe if they are following the instructions? So far, have you been maybe, not to say you personally, but maybe one from the organization to say, let's go and see if Lama sporting codes after that, are they following the restrictions?
Yes, my brother. I will once again remind our viewers at home. We are the technical arm of the government when it comes to sports. So I wouldn't want to actually reveal our criteria or our strategy rather. But the truth of the matter is that it's our responsibility to visit and make sure these associations comply with the rules and regulations. Yes, so we do visit, and I must say, we are very, very happy, Fabrice, on what we've seen so far. And pictures don't lie. They've been check temperature. bafake nema-masks because vele lama rules and regulations insist on social distancing, on sanitizing, and kuwera kwema-mask, especially to the substitutes or the officials that are not participating at that time. And of course, no spectators are allowed in any of these sporting codes.
This is McCann's cricket last weekend. This not the previous one.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And I think maybe just touching on that, Ndiwan, I think the next question is then to say, now you visit them, like you said, and then you find that some of them are not following the regulations. What are the decisions in line? Of course, I think some of the answers is to say we ban them from progressing any activities, but there are of course other maybe regulations or other measures that you take to make sure that maybe they feel the fact that they couldn't follow the instructions.
Okay, that's true. Our aim as the Sport and Recreation Council is to ensure people play sport, and they do so in a very safe environment.
True.
So it's not our intention to stop anyone from playing sport, because we are all about sport. So lelo mbuto wakho nje ishucisha ngonisa vele, because we don't anticipate ukuthi sitawuhlangana na such problems, seeing how serious the COVID-19 situation is. We are very positive our sports people will do all they can to make sure they adhere to Lama rules and regulations of COVID-19, so that we are all safe.
But there are measures if you don't follow.
Of course, in the event people fail to adhere, to adhere to Lama rules and
just give us one. This is cricket. We're not saying they're not doing anything. Let's say you visit them, you find that they're not following. Not to say it's them, just it's an example. For instance,
Mr. Fabrice, that's a tough question. No, it's not really private, because we are not hiding. We'll stop that sport immediately. We'll ensure the sport is a practice until further notice. Yes, no, Tina will deal with the sport. Maybe we'll deal with the association, because we deal with the associations,
not the venue,
not the teams,
not the venue,
and not the individuals. Yeah, so Tina will take cricket. If it's cricket, we'll take cricket to task. Stop them from playing, because we can't run away from the fact that COVID-19 is here and it's really wreaking havoc.
Of course, this is golf in one of the areas in the country. Now, let's touch on the issue of support. So I think some of these associations, they rely on sponsors. Maybe in terms of you being a government entity, especially laba especially Galuva, cricket,
Liqiniso futhi, I will once again remind our viewers at home. Siliso la hulumende, we don't own the sports.
True.
Per se. So ema sports esive semaswati. Bantu who decide to form a group, but it's we are interested in playing this particular sport. Bese baka association. Later ito affiliate kupi ka Sport and Recreation Council. But it doesn't mean the sport leso says owner no Sports Council. No, not at all. Instead, what Sports Council does is look at that particular sport. Abona goods no. Lapa, there is human development. Something that government wants. Lapa, there is they are playing a football, maybe they are practicing whatever towards a health. To the health index, you see, which is so. In short, I would say our recognized sports associations know my channels for sport and
even under the current conditions.
Unfortunately, Sport and Rec ude I budget ya COVID. That's the sad truth. But that is not stopping us from assisting wherever whenever we can.
I'm sorry to cut you. This is getting interesting, Dewan, because we're out of time, but I'll make it short.
Yes.
In some of the other countries, I'm not saying we should copy.
Yes.
In case from March to July, bekufuna kube nama activities, and all those activities did not take place. So kutholakala ukuthi mhlawumbe ungaba kahle ukuthi le mali bekufuna ukuthi setshenziswe kulama activities ngoba ikasebenza ungaba kahle ukuthi ithathwe iye kuma associations engabe lokho uyakubona lo ngizama ukubona. So don't you think maybe it will be also appreciated for the associations?
Definitely it would. Liqiniso Fabrice, the COVID-19 situation has hit all of us really, really hard. We understand how our associations are struggling. We know Simosa Semaswati.
In terms of equipment and all the
yes, our recognized sports associations know channels that they need to follow for them to get help. We usually don't publicize such issues because they go more of a national disaster kind of thing.
True.
So we can't really advertise helping people under such a situation. But our recognized sports associations, they know our offices, they know the channels that they have to follow. Now they've got a responsibility to meet certain key performance areas before they can get that help from us.
They have it. Dumsani Ndiwane, all the way from Sport Council. Now, Ndiwane was speaking as a Sport Council officer. As a former journalist, because I said earlier on what is a seasoned journalist. He's been in the field before I was there. Ndiwane, if you say any sporting court is likely to return, is what's going to happen. But Ndiwane, kuna sporting courts there's your likes of swimming. There's a lot of sporting courts. Do you think maybe there is a second phase where we might see sporting courts who are also less, less chances of spreading COVID-19, where maybe we can see, bit of contact sports. It could be a boxing, maybe it's total contact. It could be maybe netball. The ones that we see that they are less, high jump, all those things, all those things. Do you think we might some of the sporting courts also coming? Apart from Lotendos now, do you think we might see others?
No. I'm very positive actually, because if you will recall, my brother, but clearly everything was just frozen. So we are born Loguti Hulmende is gradually opening, is gradually easing a section of the lockdown. But that doesn't mean the COVID-19 is gone. It's still here. So we should, as a people, we should be considerate really to the government. The numbers are shooting up every day. We all can see the deaths are going up as well. So gukalela kakhulu ema sports, we understand it's fine, but there are other priority areas exactly that the government has to, like Nyalo, schools are closed. Government should be concentrating with the collaborative rather than gunagema sports, which really are not as professional as Kumaltini's.
That's where now you comes in as a journalist. And of course, that is Ntumsani Ndiwane. Last question. It's totally out of the topics, but I just want to expose him as a quickly journalist. Quickly, my producer is chasing me. You know the current topic that is going on, the Premier League of Eswatini, the race for chairmanship. What's your comment? Who do you think can win the race? Maybe your comment as a former journalist.
I can only wish the best candidate the best of luck.
Yeah. But do you think the 5 nominees did have the credits?
Fabrice, I reserve my comment.
They have it. Ntumsani Ndiwane, having left the field of a journalist, but they normally says that you are always once a journalist and always a journalist. So he does have the ins and outs, but I think at this point in time it will be better for him not to comment anything. But otherwise, thank you very much for being here, Ndiwane.
Thank you for praise. My pleasure.
I think we'll mention a lot of things pertaining to some of the things that are going to be happening, especially you sporting codes that have been given a green light. You are given that trust that you won't break any rule. Like he said, currently they cannot elaborate to see you'll be punished how and how, but they trust that you are going to follow all the regulations. Next in line, Linda Ramini on what was happening over the weekend. Take a look at this.
awubuke la yena sister.
Solokuqalile imidlalo nokuhamba kahle kakhulu badlali bethe ngemandla bawukhuthalela lo mdlalo labawudlalako and lokumcoka kakhulu ukuthi bayawalandela lama regulations abeke ama regulations last lengathi ngesilungu as very strict and they are fully comprehensive bayawalandela kuyasijabulisa lokho.
It feels so overwhelming. I never thought of myself winning, but here I am.
There you have it. Eswatini TV, of course, we're still live here. Wherever you are, hopefully you're having a good time. Already in the company of Linda Dlamini, our in-house analyst, who's going to give us an overview of some of the things that took place over the weekend.
Fabrice ngiyabonga umsombuluko ekseni umsombuluko ntsambama ebusuku ngibonga lelithuba lekubala bese sengithuba lokukhulu ngivusela imali yadlu yasekhaya.
Dlamini, before kungena Ndiwane bekuna umfana omncane angingasho ukuthi umncane per se, but sengikhulumela ukuthi in terms of his career has a lot to do. Lo una 10 years alala ngangwane lo khulele 11 aseZimbabwe. Uthini ngayo ngozi nari plan and his thinking? What do you think of that young man?
Fabrice is a young lad lo ngicabanga ukuthi une vision ufuna kuthatha sport asibeke kulenye level kule kingdom yaseSwatini. Lengicabanga ukuthi kuhle itimvo leting2 lengitinakile kakhulu lesishoda ngato vele kuma sports ukhuluma ngediet sine problems ne challenge lenkulu kakhulu bani bacabanga ukuthi na ukhuluma ngediet kudzinga ukuthi uhamba uthenga itimvo ledulile kuze utodla kahle nayo athlete kani nayo athlete tikhona letimva sengubekisela nje Fabrice
ngoba ngoba masangoma nawe la kubo coach ngathi na khona lwati lokuncane
vele na uncoach ungena umbatha ongela umajazi lawo but ke kudzinga ukuthi nangabe uncoach luhlakaniphile bese solanza specialist salendvo le ulanze umuntu lobuka idiet umuntu lobuka iphysique wathola letimvo leti yena ukhuluma ngato letimvo leto totimbili lengitinakile mina kakhulu idiet lemcwa kakhulu bengisachaza ukuthi tsine siyayicaba ukuthi kudla kudzinga ukuthi uhambe uyathi ukuthi nawudla kudla lokude emafutha angikubekisela ngabhatata bhatata ukahle kakhulu nangabe iathlete ungabe sesogcisha sofaka leti gadla tabhatata tibe nge6 sekurong lokho but nangabe nje umudla lo bhatata wakho umudla kahle ngicabanga sokukahle udla likotapen likahle likotapen bomo spinach ngicabanga ukuthi yena unake leti involved kakhulu bese sonaka ne physique le ngicabanga ukuthi I want to believe ukwentile ngala ku physics nakhona akudzinga ukuthi badlale udzinga ukuthi understand umdlalo ukuthi logijimako udzinga ukuthi nawumnika lama exercise nakasaqala umnika ama exercise la kanjani akhule nawo kancane namala ebholeni ubekisile nje wazobekisa nabadlali labathi sima free kicks ngicabanga ukuthi nala events esinawo lama challenge ebadlali bebhola labangakhona ukushaya ama free kicks if utawufundisa lo mdlalo lo asesemncane nabo 8 9 10 11 12 umnike ivideo atibukele bese siniphinze no practice dasafika ku 16 17 18 19 utaba sashawo namba
kulenza yakhe la defense.
They have it now. That's Linda. I mean, of course, it's all about progressing. You want to progress as an athlete. You want to progress at a personal capacity. It's all about progressive. That's the organization that you talked about earlier on. Otherwise, shooting, the Eswatini Rifle Association, rather one would say, held their meeting over the weekend to look at the plans, to look at how they're going to be working during this time of the pandemic. And to our attention, this is Siponja Njari, the president of the association, speaking to one of our colleagues about their meeting on the day and what they plan to do. Listen to Mr. Njari.
Commander General Kubuza Mlambo Shabalala lozivumele ukuthi singawubamba lo mhlangano kule nzawo yakhe la iDefense HQ. Sinhlangano etekudubula sihlangene kubuye ethatha ingoni ukuthi sozivumele uhulumende ukuthi singaba ngilabanye labangawudlalisa lo mdlalo wethu wekudubula. Kepha nasiwudlalisa sitawudlala kanjani? Sihlangana ke sima team na executive sathi khulumisa leti ndzaba ukuthi singadlala kanjani. Iqiniso lihle phathizwe ukuthi lempilo icala kucala kube sekuyalandzela konke. Ngisho ukuthi esiveni i-executive kanye nalama teams bekakhona bavumelene ukuthi batayilandzela onke lama guidelines labe kwenhulumende ekudlaliseni lo mdlalo wethu. Okusho ukuthi nje mhlawumbe kuphela kwa-August sitabe sinawo umdlalo lesitabe siwudlala.
Of course, they will be adhering to all the regulations provided by government. And first of all, maybe sometime in August, we're going to have a tournament coming from a shooting association. Some of the key things they mentioned. I mean, react to babe Janjal.
Fabrice vele siyakhumbula ukuthi shooting lamanye ama sports noma Temidlalo leti niko imvumo ukuthi ingachubeka tidlale. Ngicabanga ukuthi mhlambe lamanye ashesha ke lokubamba lama meetings kulama viki lawa laphelile sunez nje government amemedela ukuthi abanike imvumo babambe ama meeting. But ke Fabrice sebashilo bahlangene nabo bavuma including nalaba se committee ukuthi batawulandzela yonke imigomo lebekiwe. But ngifuna ukushona ku Fabrice ukuthi onke lama sports lani kwemvumo including nayo shooting ngicabanga ukuthi usuka lana ndiwane uyakhuluma uthi bayati bona ukuthi babalandzela kanjani sikathile Fabrice ukuthi onke lama tournaments noma onke lama associations la tawubamba ema tournaments ngabe i-shooting ngabe i-golf ngabe i-tennis ngabe i-tacball kudzinga ukuthi simbone at least one official one officer
ukuthi ushayela umuntu la egroundini ukuthi ngabe bayilandzela social distance
uyabona uyashayela official
asesimbona in the outfit of sport council.
Exactly, siyadzinga kumbona sports athathe amanothi alandzelela lokuthi kahle kahle lemigomo yahulumende iyendiwa yini uyabona atawumixa i-report because in fact bangakwenda kahle ukuthi every tournament leta bakhona kudzinga ukuthi baye ku sports council ukuthi next week noma mhla ka 20 banibani noma mhla ka bani naqala August sizabe sine tournament letsite sicela i-official normal officer la khona ka sports council lite litosita. Ngicabanga ukuthi it's high time sports council introduce safety and health officer lotabo asebende kube nabantu labala ngaphasi kwakhe lotawuhamba buke tonke letindzawo leto.
Thank you very much, Linda. I mean, I think I like the idea a self and health officer. Under the current condition, health officers are really needed to ensure a safety of the sports personnel, officers or whoever is in the field of sports.
In fact, Fabrice 2 seconds nje ngivile bafuna ukintroduce ema rifles nyalo kulama tournaments sikathile ukuthi maybe kutathi kuphela lo mnyaka ema rifles atabe sekudutshulwa ngawo khona ka shooting kulama tournaments latabo sikathile nami is one of sports lingaye ngithi nasiya ku cover singithokozisa kakhulu.
I saw the excitement when they talk about Eswatini Rifle Association. It's a sport that one would say we have even a specific officer here ekhaya singasho ukuthi Sipho Vimbela labamate uhambe embili in terms of representing us as a station and representing the sport itself. Continue the good job, Sipho Vimbela, wherever you are. Now, moving on, over the weekend, the MTN monthly master Dlamini singasho ukuthi golf. It's another sport. We talked about cricket. We talked about others. They are very active. It's a tournament already on, done and dusted. But just to give a brief background to the viewers, that this monthly master, who was supposed to be held in March, now because of COVID, it was held in July. But when they were giving away prizes, it was still under the item to say the tournament was held in March. To say the young talented 13-year-old who won the tournament, he won the MTN monthly master in March, in as much as it happened in July.
uyayibeka Fabrice ubeka yona i-calendar yaka golf bayibhala nje vele icace kunema monthly masters labakhona shothi njalo ngenyanga so nayigcina ke kudlala yagcina ngaFebruary lokushothi ngaMarch yangadlalwa kwase sekubheduka le leligciwane icorona then ke kuthiwe nasekubuya kuhulumende nakabanika imvumo ukuthi ababuye badlale le monthly master babese baqala kuMarch bachubeka ngale calendar yabo kushothi nje lamhlanga sinethemba mhlanga uwine i-monthly master yanga March kushothi next month na phinze kudlalwa i-monthly master kutabe kuchubeka April kanjalo ize iphele ngicabanga balandzela le calendar yabo because vele beyivele ibhaliwe pass angeke inyalo ngoba kunguJuly bese kuthiwa kudlala July kanye ya March kude ema-winners akhona.
Now talking about the young man who is only 13, we'll talk about how the tournament was and how key he was on the day and his performance and what he used to do, and then one would also say there were some adjustments within the tournament maybe that assisted him in being the champion of the day. But we're going to listen to him first. Then when I come back with Dlamini, we're going to maybe analyze a bit on the tournament. This is the young talented 13-year-old. Also after him is going to be the captain of the Nibawane club, expressing his opinion on the performance by the 13-year-old star.
It feels so good because a lot of people they were now worried if we're going to play golf again, but now we're back, so we get some time to get fit. So yeah.
You are the youngest winner today.
Yes.
How does that feel?
It feels so overwhelming. I never thought of myself winning, but here I am.
The golf course is dry. Did that work towards your advantage, being a youngster and the ball rolling faster because it's a dry course?
I was trying. Yes, the course is very dry, but I was trying to do my best. So, yeah.
Who motivated you? What inspires you to play the game of golf and to become a champion today?
My father motivated me to keep on pushing. I still did not have a card, but when he got me a card, he said I should keep on pushing so that I can be the best in the future.
Do you think next month you'll defend your trophy?
I'm not sure. We're going to see, but I'm really confident I want to defend it.
All right, congratulations once again for being the youngest ever MTN Monthly Master player.
Oh, thank you.
Kuthina eZimbabwe Golf Club ngingasho ngaphambilini ukuthi we take pride in ourselves ngekuthi we are one of the golfers lesi producer lesi nurture the young talent. So kuyasijabulisa ukuthi one of those boys labafika ekseni batoshaya amabhola lana kwanyalo nguye lo leader nga 45 points, and he is the youngest boy in the field, a grade 7 student. Kuyasijabulisa kakhulu lokho, and kwenta ukuthi nalabo bafana labahlele emakhaya kumbe labahle basaba ukuthi akutodlala ema tournament bacaba ukuthi wina abantu labadzala ukuthi abantu ababone lo ukuthi eGalvin wina noma ngabe ngibani nabo banelithuba lelinganako nala nathi thina sibadzala ukuthi bangawina. Kuyasijabulisa kakhulu as a club, and kuphinze kube naloko ukuthi na ubuka ufocusa embili siyabona ukuthi likusasa lihle legaluva nangabe bafana abancane kangaka sebadlala kuleli zinga labadlala kulo lamuhla. Siyambongela sinethemba sithi akachubeka adlale umdlalo lomuhle eGalvin.
Thank you very much, Captain, my captain, Babane Club captain, of course, reacting to what the young talented star did over the weekend. I mean, one would say, I'm impressed to say he's only 13. He achieved whatever he achieved. Sitsini ngare sport, because if then we have a young talented star at the age of 13 who is claiming such glory, and I think I want to take this opportunity to say golf is one of our sport where we are well known internationally. When you talk about Nobuhle, I mean, currently when you talk about Nobuhle like Eswatini, when you talk about the likes of Jamie Pennington, all these guys, what are we saying about the sport? Shouldn't we give much attention to such talent as such as Senetemba? In as much as, of course, sorry to catch you, you've got also mature or older athletes on the field of play.
Lo mnyanga qaba ukuthi mhlambe bekudlala vele bamfana bebakhona cishe la sebabadzala labe badlala, but ngicaba ukuthi Fabrice sport lesinikete I chance kuwonke umuntu kushintshele format le bekudlalwa ngayo le golf. Nawubuka nje ukuthi ipha beyina 2 points buthola 2 points then ibed ina 3 points. Ngicaba ukuthi vele kushintshile akuhlali kudlalwa kanjalo. Nalokuthi ke naba laba ku higher handicap bona ngibo labane chance leningi, hence yena Senetemba awinile because yena uka higher handicap. Ngicaba ukuthi lomunye ngacaba ukuthi lomvana ushaye abantu labadzala vele uyabona badlalile labantu labadzala nabo, but ngicaba ukuthi ngilendlela lebekudlalwa ngayo. So but nje congratulations, ngicaba ukuthi lendlela labayende ngayo ku encourage even the younger golfers ukuthi nabo bayabona ukuthi kuyawina ngamudla nangalo saneminyaka adlala ebholeni ku Galuva, because sitawukhumbula ukuthi even ukhuluma nganobuhle the first time ngivanga nobuhle she was 13, so ngakhumbula ukuthi nini lapho.
So there's nothing lost for this young man. He can still follow in her footsteps.
Ungicabanga ukuthi ku right track uhamba endleleni lekahle uwinile nayo yokhumbula nje ukuthi ngawena i-monthly master nga 2020 just after i-COVID kubuye imidlalo yona nawubuka nje ukuthi bena ama 45 points.
Okay, now maybe just if you know a specific name as a viewer, you also want to look at the likes of Sfiso Zubugo, look at the likes of Albert Mhlanga. I want to believe he's the president of the sport of the golf union, and he's in the top 10, but he's the number 10. I don't want to think maybe he was relaxed on the day. He also played his best, but umehlulile Senetemba Mhlanga. The surname between Senetemba Mhlanga and Albert Mhlanga.
Man Fabrice ngifuna kubekisa nga Albert Mhlanga ukuthi lo mnyanga ngicaba ukuthi ukunumber 10 ngitsite the higher handicapped ngibo labe bane chance asengibekise ukuthi Albert Mhlanga ukulowa handicapped assist u1 nasadlala athole maybe 20 ngiyabekisa shothi yena sona 20 bani 22 23 uyabona kani nangiyalo lapha etulu asengibekise ukuthi yena uk20 nakadlala athola lomnye 20 utawuhlala ku40 vele hence ungabona ukuthi le scoreboard sisime kanjani. Ngicabanga nje ukuthi bangadideki bamvu bethuka ukuthi how ema golfers lamatsala ahluliwe no ngilendlela bekudlalwa ngile format bekudlalwa ngayo.
Utsini ngalombutho wami master ngasikhaba umhlanga babane impersonal lenhle nangibuka isibongo la Senetemba Mhlanga Albert. Don't you think maybe one would say is it a coincidence or whether they are related?
I'm not sure. Ngamela ngubutele kuye Mr Albert Mhlanga then ngibene benvulo Fabrice, but I'm not sure ngicabanga ukuthi
cause momthetho amongst the players on the day.
Baba neng Fabrice cishe laba badlala igolf bala bo cause momthetho bala bo Albert Mhlanga incumbi nje bebakhona bebadlala ngicabanga ukuthi badlalile Fabrice. It's only sitawukhumbula ukuthi le monthly mark le siyakhumbula ukuthi na last week bedlale SRIC kusho nje semabili lama tournaments ladlalwa ngibo begolf alandzelana solo kwathiwa ababuye.
We talked about the grass, we talked about how maybe
ushilo Fabrice siyakhumbula vele ukuthi busika solo apheli emakhata solo achubeke njalo but sithemba ukuthi kutawo sikulenyanga letabo kutabe sekubuyile kancane nje ubona netimbali sekucelile liyachakaza.
Thank you very much, of course, Dlamini, being with us. Those are some of the pictures. Quickly, Dlamini, time is against us. Juventus are champions again for the 9th time.
Bengifuna congratulate wena ma-winners yena Sinethemba Mhlanga uwinile monthly masters. Congratulate i-Juventus Italy iwinile Liverpool in England iwinile league. Real Madrid winile i-league. Bayern Munich in Germany. PSG bavile bayinika. Kevin De Bruyne ulingane na Thierry Henry ngama-assist 20 assist season inye. David Silva uyahamba uManchester City. There's a lot Fabrice lele singakhuluma ngako. New Zealand even in Australia irugby ibuyile ngicabanga ukuthi there's a lot Fabrice lesingakhuluma ngako lesingaleka exciter emaloyal viewers ekhaya.
Arsenal will not play any European competition.
No Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi uya exaggerate if ba winner i-FA Cup naba winner FA Cup then i-Wolves ayi ku-Europa iyangena Arsenal.
They have it. If you didn't know, that's how it works. Champions of FA Cup, of course, have a chance of playing a European competition. And of course, to some extent, I was actually having a conversation with the Manchester United fan to say there was a bit of a mistake maybe to let Romelu Lukaku go, because currently in Italy he's got 23 goals. And he's equaling the top scorer in England, Jamie Vardy, 23. What are you saying about the striker? What does that say now?
If I'm pressing about that's sharp producer way to but
they have it. Thank you very much for being with us. Of course, for those of you with us, thank you very much, Dlamini, for being with us. All the guests that came here in the studio to touch on different aspects. Otherwise, for you at home as a viewer, and of course, if you didn't get a chance to watch anything pertaining to this program, you can always go on YouTube and write a Temidlalo live show, and then you specify the date. Anything that you want on that show on that Monday, you're going to get it. And do not forget to subscribe and be part of the show every Monday. Otherwise, for those who are on Skuchan, every Tuesday morning at 8, there will be a repeat for the program. Me, Dlamini, the entire production, the guest, Sidlale Kamnanzi.
It feels so overwhelming. I never thought of myself winning, but here I am.